Hello and welcome back to your 22 apps onboarding sequence, the Start Here sequence. Of course, my name is Matthew McGregor, and today we're going to be going into how to navigate the actual builder, which of course is the most important part of the entire 22 apps experience. So to use the builder, all you have to do is when you've created a page, you just go ahead and you click Edit Page. And in here, when you first come in, if you've just created a blank screen, this is what will appear. It's completely blank. And how you actually navigate this, or how this works, is all you have to do is on the left-hand side, there's a bunch of menu options which are going to be important for you to know, important for you to recognize. So over on the left is an area called Section, which is essentially where if you've ever used any other landing page builder or website builder or anything like that, this will feel very, very familiar, where you basically drag on your section, you drag on your row, and then you drag on your element. And essentially, sections contain rows. Rows are different columns that you can change. So I can have 3 columns, 2 columns, 5 columns, however many I want. And the columns contain elements. So the section is the big overarching, we'll color code it, all right? The section is everything. The row is like the different the different columns within each thing, and then the actual elements, are the elements. Let's make that yellow. And what we've got going on here is a really great way to easily get in and build your app as you need to. So how to kind of play around with this, or how the builder works, is as you build out your app, you have a bunch of different elements over on the left-hand side, including header, text, image, video, audio, button, list, icon, and divider. And each of these can be put into a row or a section. So you put a row into a section, and then you put the element into the row or the column of your choosing, simply by dragging it on and dropping it in. So if I wanted to, as an example, add a video below this middle header in the column, I would simply just come over here, grab it, drag it on, and then align it right below, and you'll see this little overlay, and that indicates that it's in the right spot and allows me to drop in the video. Now, this is all just for practice, but basically it works with all of the same stuff, and you can even drop it anywhere on the page if you so choose. So if I delete this section, let's say I wanted to create, I don't know, let's just say I want a list. I can drop it anywhere I want, and it will automatically fill in the row and fill in the section for me. Now, some key things that you may have been picking up on as I navigate this are list, hi, welcome, 22 apps is cool. Smiley face. Anyway. Whatever. Some key things that you want to be aware of as that you may have noticed as I'm navigating this is when I click on any section, row, or element, on the left-hand side and the right-hand side, some settings are going to pop up that allow me to further customize that particular thing. I'm going to start off with text because it's going to be a little bit easier for you to understand. All right, so text is welcome here, yay. You'll see on the left-hand side is always all to do in 22 apps. The left-hand side is always to do with how the text actually looks. So on the left is where we can change the font size, we can change the text color, we can transform it so it's like capitalized, all lowercase, or first letter capitalized. We can set the link for the text. If we want this text to actually be a button, we can set it to go to a particular screen, and we can choose which screen we want it to go to. We can have it go back to the previous screen we were on, like a back button. We can link to a website outside of the app. We can link to a website inside of the app, meaning that it actually will, rather than directing to the browser that the user uses, it'll actually open up a website browser within the app, which is cool. It can open and close the pop-up, as well as it can open the submenu, which I'll talk about those things in a second. Usually you don't need to set a link with text, so we'll just leave it as that. And then animation is a cool feature where you can have a delayed timer on when something should appear. So if you don't want the text to appear on the screen until, I don't know, 20 seconds or 25 seconds, then I can delay that start timer until that period of time. And it just makes it a lot easier to create things with urgency, or to create things where maybe they have to watch a video and you want something to only pop up after they've gone through and watched the whole video. Whereas on the right hand side is things to do with the general appearance of other things that generally don't have to do with the text. So the only exception to that is the alignment option. This allows you to align where the text is kind of placed. You can change the background color. Let's make it blue. Let's not make it blue. That's really hard to read. We're going to be adding in settings for line height and letter spacing as we go on. You can change the border, so we can make like a nice thick border around the text. We can change the radius of the border, as well as we can change the spacing, so we can kind of space out how we want the text displayed. We can change the left spacing, the right spacing. All this kind of stuff is completely customizable, as well as I can enter a custom value, like I can just type 20 and then I can type 60 and it will go to that value. So again, the left-hand side is all about editing that particular element, and the right-hand side is extra things like spacing and border and line height and background color and opacity and all this kind of stuff. I hope that makes sense. And when you combine all of these settings with all the different elements, you end up getting something that looks much like this, which is an app design in this kind of format. So all that I did to create this really is I dragged on this piece of text. I made it bold by clicking. Oh, as well, I didn't mention this. Whenever you click on any kind of element or row or section, there's always settings above it. You can see a video only has this little magnifying glass button, this paper button, and this garbage can button, and that means delete, copy. So if I click this, it'll copy it, as well as this little magnifying glass thing with a minus inside it zooms out to the row. So if I click on that, I can now easily edit the row settings that element is contained in, and if I click the minus button again, it zooms out to the section settings that row is contained in. All right, so that makes it nice and easy instead of kind of hovering around trying to like, oh, where's the row? Oh, there it is. It's like, oh, I can click any element within that row and click minus and it goes straight to this row settings and I can edit it, which makes it nice and easy. A lot of other builders don't do that. Essentially though, with this text, I just came in, I highlighted it, I click bold to make it bold. I changed the font size with this. As well, I could have edited the app's default font. I forgot to mention that. So like I could have came in and picked some other cool, crazy font, but no, I like the default font. Then I dropped in a video element right here, and videos accept YouTube, Vimeo, Wistia, or even MP4 files as embeds. So you can really customize that quite a bit. And there's not really many settings I adjusted for this one. Recent notifications, this is text. This is a button, and all I did to create a button is I dropped in the button. I changed the background color to blue because I wanted the button to be blue. I probably changed the width. It was probably started off at like the full width, so I wanted it to be like a little bit less, so I changed it down to 54. And then I changed the alignment probably from center to left. Now you'll notice that here we have an icon next to this header, and the question is, well, how did we do that? And the answer, of course, is, well, we set it to 2 rows. So you'll see here, if we come into the row settings, it's 2 columns, two columns that the row has. And with rows, you can actually set how you want that row to be set up. So rather than 50%, 50% on both sides, I set it to 20% in size for here for the icon and 80% size for this text. And that gives it a really nice, clean layout. So here we've got these icons that I dropped in and just picked the icon of the bell, and then I changed the color over on the left to the icon color that I wanted, and that's really all this took to create this whole thing. There's these icons at the bottom, which are pretty much the same thing, just drag on the icon, change the color, change the text to white, make the text smaller. It's really, really simple. All I have to do is just drag on text. Here, I'll show you. Make it white, make it in the center over in a line, and then we can write podcast, and then we'll make it a bit smaller, and boom. In this particular one, I want it to go to a screen. If I had the podcast, oh, I do, the podcast screen in this account. Perfect. Go to screen, podcast screen, which is imported. And I'm just gonna delete that just for now. But that's how you do it. It's really nice and easy. Now, there are a couple other things that I should mention as you're going through this. The first of which is as you go through, you'll notice these question marks all over the place. So if you're at all confused about anything anytime, just click one of the question marks and it'll actually open up that in kind of the help area. So that makes it really nice and easy to actually navigate everything and learn really quickly as you go. Other than that, you'll notice as you come in here some other options here on the left, which are the sections manager, which allow you to drag around different sections. So this is a section, this is a section, and this is a section. So I can drag these as I need to. So like right now, this section is what's called sticky to top. And that's a setting that you may want to play around with where it actually will, rather than when you scroll, right now when sticky is not turned on at all, it'll just kind of scroll past. If I change this to sticky to top, it will be above and scroll above this kind of thing and give it almost kind of a feel of a menu. So if you want to create like different menus with your sections, definitely set sticky to top or sticky to bottom, and that'll give you a nice section or a menu option for your app. And this section manager basically allows you to hide sections as you need to. It allows you to copy sections. You can, of course, do that by simply hovering over a section, but it's more like just so you know all the sections that are going into your app. It makes it kind of nice and easy to do everything there. The next option is the paintbrush. This allows you to change the background color of the app, as well as set what happens when you swipe left and right on the app. So this is a cool thing about apps, is not only can they tap on things, but they can also swipe. So if they want to swipe left or swipe right, you can configure that for different actions. The next thing here is the submenu links. And this is where if you want to create like a submenu that goes across the whole app, you can add in different links that link to different screens and different pages. So that makes it really nice and easy to kind of just come in and add different options and different links so that people are able to navigate through your app a lot quicker than they would be able to otherwise. And then the last thing is just the pop-up. So if you want to customize or if you want to have a pop-up on a page at all, you can come in here and just the exact same as you would anything else. You can drag in sections, you can drag in rows, and you can drag in elements into your pop-up. And it functions the exact same way the normal builder does, except it's in a pop-up. So this might be good for like a confirmation thing, or if they click a particular button to learn more info about a certain topic, you might have a pop-up come up. And there can be, right now we currently have it where there can be one pop-up per page. All right, so I hope that makes sense. The last thing that I very much need to tell you is make sure you save your work very consistently. All right, make sure you save your work very consistently by simply coming up here and 1 second, I don't want to save my work, but normally you'd come up here and you'd click save, and then this little bar will pop up saying your changes have been saved to let you know and congratulate you that, hey, you did a good job. So if you come up over and just click save, that will pop up this to say your settings have been saved. And then in a future video, I'm going to be showing you how to test your app and also how to publish your app, and making that really, really nice and easy for you. Though I hope this has been a good introduction on how to navigate this platform, how everything works, where things go. And I'd say just mess around with it, play around with it, download some templates, and you'll get the good hang of it. All right. So with that, I look forward to seeing you in the next video, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Take care.